So, so this with this new hype of AI, Gen AI, do you think this is a tectonic shift that is? I mean, there's an organic tectonic shift that is happening, or is it's a more of a hype that is happening?
No, this is and Gen AI is not what I'm doing. This
Okay.
generating. I don't do that. I
Mm-hmm.
use
Mm-hmm.
AI to help me understand the data and help me understand correlations. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
gen. Be very clear when you use these words. People get
Okay.
very confused about these things. ChatGPT just Gen AI. You ask a question, it generates a question, generates an
Mm-hmm.
answer based on what he thinks. This is all generative. I don't generate anything. I try to look for correlations. That's what I do. If you don't use this technology, you are like letting electricity unused.
Oh,
Few
okay.
hundred years ago, people invented electricity and people said, we don't need electricity. We can use an oil lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it today. Even cars are running on electricity. Few thousand years before that, we don't need a steam engine. We can use a horse and a cart.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So
Correct.
every time something jumps, you have to use it to the best of your abilities. That's important.
Correct.
Clear?
Uh, right. So, if I try to correlate with your experience, with your perspective from leading so many operational excellence, do you think that the manufacturing and the mobility organizations are ready to embrace the AI shift?
This is also a very difficult question. You're asking very good questions, Binjali. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Most
you.
organizations are scared.
Hmm.
They feel because the mindset is usually on how to save themselves. So it trickles down to the bottom. If people at the lower level feel that what I do can be replaced by a computer, they get nervous. But the top level management say, no, I want you to do something different, something better, something more valuable. There was a long time ago when I used to notice, true story number two. A long time ago, I was a global program manager for IT in a big multinational company. And I noticed that people were using very old versions of certain software. I won't mention any names
Hmm. Hmm.
because they had built certain software tools with their experience. And over time, every time the main software gets a version 1 to version 2 to version 3, sometimes they need to rewrite things or readjust things or patch things up. But they never wanted to ignore the platform they built because they base their careers on it. Correct?
Right.
If you were
Yeah.
to replace the software tool they built with a commercial software tool, what happens? They say, hey, you don't need me anymore. I'm not doing it. I will start hiding information. I'll start blocking the progress because I want to keep my job. What I did was I turned it around. I goes, no, you're going to be the consultant for the whole organization to steer this company, which is making this commercial software so that we can use it at a faster pace. Because your
Hmm.
software tool is brilliant. You have all the knowledge in your hand. So now you are the expert consultant in the whole organization to drive this company so that we can do better. Are you following?
Yes.
Imagine people were making, for example, black and white televisions. I used to make them as
Hmm.
well. My first project was a black and white television set 100 years ago. Now you say to them, okay, we're going to lose it. No, no, you're not going to lose it. You're going to use your experience to how to make
Hmm.
a better color television, which is true, which we did.
Hmm.
Okay, making plasma LED television. We're going to lose. No, no, not going to lose it. We're going to use your experience and knowledge on how to do the best LED or plasma television. Correct?
Hmm.
The
Correct.
minute you start giving people the feeling of fear, they'll close down because they want to protect
Hmm.
themselves. That is wrong. You need to open the door saying, listen, I want you to help us be the best company in the world making laser televisions, or God knows what is the next step.
Correct.
Then people are willing to share their experience. You lock it away into some automation and they learn and they grow. And people love to learn and grow. These people who make their own software automation, they learn to challenge and grow, and they feel more famous. They feel more
Hmm.
important. This is the trick. So there was also a factory with aging workforce, third
Hmm.
story, and I'm going to stop telling stories, who were actually making dairy products, yogurt,
Hmm.
cheese, this kind of dairy products needs a lot of attention
Mm-hmm.
because the culture is kept in a room, and depending on the season, depending on the
Right.
humidity, depending on the type of milk from the cow. Was the cow eating dry grass or fresh grass in the summer, or eating corn or eating something else? Depending
Mm-hmm.
on what the cow was eating, you get slightly different types of milk. And they mix it, and depending on the types of milk and the yeast you put in to ferment it to make the yogurt or the cheese is again not the same. So
Mm-hmm.
every time is slightly different, and every time you must come up with the same quality. Quality is important. So these people keep their experience from father to son. They don't give it
Right.
out. But at a
Right.
certain point, the children don't want to do the same job as a father. I don't want to be a cheese maker. I don't want to be a yogurt maker. I want to be something else. That knowledge disappears. What happens? You can't make it anymore. So
Correct.
this knowledge has to be captured in some way, put into some kind of an AI tool, so that the factory can still make it, and the children who don't want to be doing that can do something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something you can do if you're interested. That is the question.
Absolutely, I agree with you with because uh, as you said correctly, the knowledge, if the knowledge flow is stopped somehow, if be it generation or anyway, the outcome or the legacy stops. But the legacy should go on, irrespective whether it's a cheese manufacturing company or anything else, right?